Going on, y'all? Hope your day is going well. I'm doing well. Here to talk about options today. For those that are not familiar with options trading, you definitely want to tap into this conversation and get as much game as you can. I got a young lion that's about to join us, like doing this absolute thing. He's great at what he does. Explain this a little bit more detail, and we're gonna find out a little bit more about who he is and what he's up to. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's going
Hey
on?
man, it wasn't gonna keep us down. We was gonna tap in, bro. I was gonna keep trying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on?
I'm doing not much today. Not much today. I just finished trading a little bit. Working on some stuff in the community that I got, but
That's what's
pretty
up.
much that's pretty much it. So
That's
hopping on
cool.
the call.
That's cool. All right, for those that don't know you, take some time to kind of introduce yourself and why it is that you even got into options in the first place.
Yeah, of course. So my name is CEO Ashon. I'm a 19-year-old entrepreneur now. I just turned 19 in January. I trade options in the stock market, and I teach young adults and teenagers how they can make $100 to $1,000 a day trading options in the stock market.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And then what got you into trading options in the first place?
There was a point in my life, where, we all have those ups and downs, and I had a situation when I was in high school, and that kind of forced me to say, all right, I need to focus on me. I need to focus on where my future needs to go. And I tried to test a few things out. I tried to test out wholesaling, real estate, e-commerce, affiliate market. Like I was trying out different things, and I came across options trading, and I was like, let me give this a try. I had about $500, I assume. This was around Christmas time, and I told my parents, I said, "Don't give me anything else, but some type of mentorship information or something that
That's
can at least help me, learn how to, get into the stock market." And they got me something. It didn't teach me options, but it taught me about the stock market in general,
gotcha.
and how to evaluate companies and stuff like that. So I used that. I studied that for about 4 days. And I also studied on YouTube like how to trade options. And I made my first trade 4 days after Christmas. So I got
That's
it on
what's
Christmas, and 4 days after it just took off.
been
And then,
rocking and rolling since then, huh?
yes, sir. I started when it was 4 days after Christmas, and then that was the first time I placed my trade, and I put about $580 into it, into one contract, and then I sold that contract later in about 2 weeks for about 2,000, and
Mm,
then from there it just kept rolling, kept growing. I had some ups and downs. I grew a little. I grew it to 4,000, and then I took a $1,000 loss in one day, and I was like, "Ooh, that hurt a little bit."
yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
knew that you could make money though. So I
Okay.
was like, all right, let me study why people fail. Let me study why
Mm,
people lose. Let me study why people typically fail in the market. Because typically people fail the first year, 70% of people fail typically.
wow.
Because, and I wanted to figure out why, because there's a reason behind it. So I spent months just studying that continuously and figuring out the pieces of why people lose. And then I just implemented that into my strategy so that way I couldn't lose as much. And then it allowed me to actually grow linearly. So that was pretty
That's
good.
what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, man, I didn't get you the nickname Young Lion because you a beast out here doing your thing, bro. Now, you talk about getting your mind right and really studying. Like, why is that important if you're going to invest?
Yeah, so when you got to get your mind right, because actually, ironically, the reason why 70, 80% of traders fail is because of their mindset. It's
Mm,
typically because of them. Because, for example, if you have, let's say you have a strategy or a way of trading, and it gives you let's say a 60% win rate. If you just follow it to the T, you'll get a 60% win rate across maybe like 100 trades or something like that. Let's say that's your strategy. But through your strategy, you might be like, ooh, there might be a trade you might place and you might be fearful. And
mm,
then that fear impacts how you actually execute. So for example, let's say in real life, let's say you want to work out every single day, right? That's your strategy. Your strategy is I want to work out every single day, 7 days a week, just for 30 minutes. That's it. Well, one day you wake up and it's like, dang, I'm not really feeling too good, so I'm just gonna stay in bed. Or I'm angry or I'm upset about this something that happened yesterday, so I'm not going to work out today. Those things can impact your progress and
mm.
impact how you actually grow in the future. And then if you let's say you don't get into shape or you don't consistently do it, you're most likely going to get mad at your routine, but you're not mad at yourself because you don't look at the things that you're doing, and that literally carries over into trading as well. So
Gotcha.
if you're undisciplined in life, typically you'll be undisciplined with trading. That's typically just how it is.
Wow, that's really deep. Now, for those that have never even heard about options, never even got into the stock market whatsoever. Like, walk us down some of them baby steps. Like, what are some of the introductory things that we need to be doing?
Yeah. So if you want to get into options, obviously, I would people typically say just go on YouTube, study, or get a course, something like that. But I'll give you guys a breakdown of like what options actually is. So if you have a stock, right? Let's say a stock is, Apple or Amazon. Let's say Apple is $100, right? And I buy Apple for $100 and I sell it for $101. So that is what I essentially did there is I bought and sold it because I bought it for 100, sold it for 101. That is a trade. Buying and selling something is a trade. So with options, it allows me to leverage 100 shares of Apple temporarily. So when I buy a stock, I have ownership of it. That's mine, right? But when I have options, it's basically like a loan, basically. Like I'm putting a down payment for a loan. So I'm putting, let's say, $100, $200 down, and I'm getting ownership temporarily of 100 shares of Apple. So I get to control essentially $10,000 worth, which is $100 times 100, $10,000 worth of Apple for only maybe $100, $200, and I can temporarily control that. So now, if it goes up $1 each share, that means that I make a dollar times 100 shares. So that means I make $100 of my money, and I only put down 200. That increases how much I can make based on how much I input. That's why options is so powerful because it increases your leverage and it increases how much you can make on your trade. That's basically what options is in a gist. But options basically allows you to increase your leverage, basically. So, for example, if you trade stocks, it takes a little slow. I don't want to buy something for $100, sell it for 101, and make a dollar. Like, no one wants to do that. But most people interested in making $100, $200, $300, $1,000 just doing the exact same thing. Because I only got one contract and I can make 100. So imagine if I got 10. Imagine if I got 20. Imagine if I got 30. So that's literally what options pretty much is.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And as you explained that, it looks like it's easy as long as you know the game.
Yeah.
So like kind of talk about that mentorship process of getting with somebody like you and your team to have somebody kind of walk us through this so we're not on this island all by ourselves.
Yeah, so I like to just tie things all back into life. So, for example, if you go through life, right, and let's say you don't have a parent or you don't have somebody that can walk you through certain things and you have to figure that on your own, most likely it's going to be hard because you have to find that stuff out for yourself and you don't have anybody guiding you. But if you have somebody guiding you, then it becomes extremely easy. If you're trying to learn math and you don't got a math teacher, it's going to be a little hard to learn math. It's going to be some things you're going to learn that's not going to be in the right order. A math teacher allows you to structurally, all right, we're going to learn this first, then this, then this, then this. And then we're going to get you farther ahead without you doing too much extra work on your own, right? So with a mentorship with me or getting into we have me and my friends, because I have other friends that are also making money too at a young age. And we created a Discord together. It's basically a community where we basically come on there, we trade, and we talk about our trades, and we give you the plays that we're doing, and we also teach you how to do it. And we also have different things to actually allow you to make money, like sports betting, sneaker resale. Like we have different things that we're doing ourselves, and we're just teaching you how to do it. That way you don't have to look all over the place, go on YouTube, study, and all this other stuff. We literally give you everything. So we make it simple, but then again, the hard work is going to be on you executing on it. So we make it
Gotcha,
that
gotcha,
simple.
gotcha. But at the same time, like as you guys are giving this game out, walking them through the steps, like you said, they got to apply it. And if they don't apply it, they can't come back and be like, man, it didn't work for me. And I think
Exactly.
that this is the dilemma that a lot of people have all across social media. I read this study one time, bro, that said only 7% of people that actually buy a course or join a mastermind program actually apply the information. Now you think about
Mm-hmm.
that. That's crazy small. 7%
Yes.
of millions and millions of people that's buying courses every single day. So that just shows you that there's room for opportunity. But at the same
Yes.
time, for somebody like you, just give them the game because the average person ain't gonna do nothing with it no way. But then it's like as you position yourself as this industry leader, this expert, this coach, consultant, then now people trust you way more because they know that you're giving them the game, but you're just saying, hey, wake up, go do something with all this great information that I gave you. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck like Chuck. And,
Yeah.
for a lot of us older individuals, bro, because you're only 19, right? A lot
Yes,
of us
sir.
older individuals, we can look back and be like, man, I missed that opportunity. I missed that one. I missed that one. I missed that one. and it was nobody's fault but ours because people kept
Yeah.
giving us a game. You saw the writing on the wall, and we refuse to do things about it. So it's
Yeah.
like now it's time to use the information that we have. Like you could literally, y'all, literally, I don't know how many people watching right now, but you can take everything that we saying on this doggone video and start to apply and make some moves. Now, will it mean that you're going to be a millionaire overnight? Probably not, because you don't know as much as you need to know. So let go of the fear and all the timidity right now. Like, oh man, it's not gonna work for me. I don't know nothing. You're right, you don't
Yeah.
know nothing. So this is why mentorship is crucial because somebody's gonna give you the game, but also explain to you, let go of the fear. Let go of all of these things going on in your head to say it ain't gonna work because this person didn't do this and this person do that. Like take
Yeah.
your time with it, just like anything else. Read, study, and get a mentor because this mentorship is literally going to take you places that you could have never gone by yourself and really accelerate your journey. So maybe you would have been making a couple $1,000s a month. You teach them the game, bro. They could probably be making all kind of money if they do things the right way and apply your principles, right?
Yes, if you literally follow the instructions. And actually, I was just at a I got invited to speak at a mastermind recently last weekend, and I told everybody there, and I made sure I put it in my presentation. I literally said, "Don't wish you were my age, but capitalize at the age you're at now." Because most people they want to like, oh, I wish I could have did that at your age, or if I was your age, I could have. Like,
Yeah.
we're age, I don't care what age you're at, capitalize on it. Like, just
Mhm.
execute. Like, because at the end of the day, I can still give you the blueprint now, and most people still make excuses. Man, I wish I was. I wish. What are you now? What can you do now that can allow you to accelerate your growth, accelerate your process, accelerate your learning curve? Like, because I spent, like, mind you, I wasn't going to parties and stuff like that. I wasn't hanging out with friends. All this in past year and a half, I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I was literally what learning options, studying, putting in the work to understand this craft, and now I'm reaping the fruit of it. Whatever
Mhm.
you sow, you shall reap. Whatever you reap is what you've sown. So
Facts.
I'm sowing everything that I'm reaping currently because of the work that I had to put in. Now I'm making it easy for you. I'm telling you the struggles that I had to go through in order of sowing and how to actually sow and get the reap faster, like how to get that stuff back faster. Because again, if I spend a year learning something, I know in my head how I could have did it faster because we all know what we could have, would have, should have did. So now I'm giving you you can do this because I went through this and you don't have to. So now
Yeah,
here's the
facts.
step-by-step process. And now most
Facts.
people, it cuts the learning curve in half, and they say, well, how long is this going to take for me to do? How long is it going to take you if you don't do this? How long is it going to take you if
Mhm.
you don't get a mentorship with me? How long is it going to take if you don't join my Discord group? How long is it going to take until you learn this stuff from somebody else who's already doing it? Because again, most people that also have been trading, they've been trading for 10, 20 years and stuff like that. They've traded for decades, but they don't understand some of the like the beginner mistakes, the beginner things that's going on in your mind because they haven't been that far. Or they might not have had that fear. They might have had some money to start out with, so they weren't really in that process of growing it. And most people, like if you start out with a little bit of money, right, you're trying to trade options, and it's like, dang, my whole goal is to make money, right? But if you come into the market and your goal is to make money, make money, make money, make money, you won't make any
Mhm.
because your focus is money and your focus isn't learning. So if
Mhm.
your focus is trying to get through, you're
Wow.
not focused on the actual material, so you
Mhm.
don't actually grow. Because if you go to your job, for example, that's why most people they go to their job and it's like, dang, make money, make money, make. Focus on your craft. If you're trying to grow in your job or if you're trying to grow in the industry,
Yeah.
you have to focus on the industry, not the outcome.
Yeah.
And most
That,
people
that that's
overlook
good
that.
teaching you just said, man, because in any process of you getting to the next level, it comes a time where you just got to learn. And you don't want to learn during that time because it seems boring. You don't feel like it. I totally get it, y'all. But when you do learn, you set yourself apart from everybody else doing. And listen, it ain't even no competition thing because it's enough money and enough room for us all to eat and grow. But if you're not putting in the discipline to learn your craft, you're gonna be real salty because everybody else is gonna be reaping the benefits of all the work that they put in. For those that ever watched Karate Kid Part 1, 2, or 3,
Mm.
you remember the first one, y'all. Mr. Miyagi told little dude to wax on, wax off, and he was salty. He didn't want to do no wax on, wax off. He's like, man, what does this have to do with me getting out there and fight? Like, teach me how to fight. He said, you need to know these disciplines
Mm.
first. Because as he taught him those disciplines, guess what? He used them when he was doing the match. Because that experience that he gathered, y'all, from just being disciplined, putting the work in, it allowed him to be a monster when he was doing the matches. He was doing stuff that nobody else could because they were just focused on winning the battle. Listen, he was being strategic the whole time. So look, whether it's options, whether it's type of investment doing real estate, you got your business you're trying to grow, you're going to have to put in the work. Now look, y'all know me as a brand development coach. One of the things that I always talk about is being disciplined. It's not fun all the time, but man, it's so crucial when you go to the next level that you be disciplined. Because the other part about being more disciplined, this is something Michael Jordan taught me. I was watching this documentary or something the other day, and he said, I don't fear competition. I don't think that there's nobody else in the whole world that's as competitive as me. So when I get on the court, I'm not even trying to dominate you. I'm just playing my game. Now, if you happen to get dominated while I'm out there, then that was your loss. That was your opportunity. You the one that stepped out on the court against me.
Exactly.
And here's what he really taught me, though, y'all. He said that as you become disciplined and work on your particular craft, you no longer have to muster up the willpower while you're actually doing it. So like when he on the court, he don't have to be like, all right, man, let me do good, man. Let me make sure I cross him, make sure I take this shot the right way. Nope, because it's already inside of him. He had already been putting in the work outside of the game. So what are you gonna do? Come on, y'all. It's time for y'all to really tap in. Take this information that you learn. Now, you might be somebody that's doing a whole lot of other businesses. Learn options trading. This is another stream of income. Why not? Why not tap in? Give him some more game, bro.
Okay, let's bet. Actually, matter of fact, there's a question in the chat
yep.
that says, I got a question. There's so many bad courses out here. How do I know which course I can trust and which one is good? So on the surface level, you can't really tell which courses are good or not. And it's based on the person who's selling it. So here's an example. So for example, you might be seeing somebody that has a course or something like that, right? And it might have like I'm trying to figure out a way to explain it. Let's say they have a course and they're saying, go get my course, and this is what I have inside of it. This is what it's going to talk about. You don't know what's inside of it, but you do know that person. So if they're giving you free game or something like that, or they're teaching you outside of that course, then you know that they can trust them inside of the course. Because if they can help you outside of the course, imagine what they can do inside of it. So that's another key with that. But like it all comes down to the person. So like for example, if I don't give you any game, if I don't give you any value, don't get my course, don't get my Discord, don't get any of that stuff. If I don't give you any game, if I don't give you any value, because I don't deserve it. Typically, it's just not. If you can go on my page and you don't learn something about options, if you don't learn something about the stock market, then don't get it. It's just as simple as that. But I know that I can say that because I know that if you go through my page, if you go through my information, if you go into it, you still know, like we got some game in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm posting the profits, I'm posting the losses, I'm posting the process. So if I'm showing you that stuff, that tells you, all right, cool, I can trust this person because he's giving me all this on the front end. So I know that I can get something on the back end.
Facts.
And let me see, what's the next one? I was just looking at some of these comments too. Oh yeah. This is one of my friends actually. She actually got my course too, and she was actually making some money too. Oh yeah, she said she went back to paper trading. She made 800 in 2 days after consistently failing for 2 weeks, and practice makes perfect. She started recently, like a few months ago or something like that. I think about a month or two ago, I believe. Like she literally just started. Again, mind you, I've been doing this for about I think a year and some change now, and she's only been doing it for a few months and already making money with it. So again, it's a process of up and down. Not even gonna hold you. It's a process of up and downs, but eventually you're going to get to a certain result. And I look at it like this. Most people ask like, well, how long is this going to take for you to do it? And then I go back to okay, where could you be if you did this? And where will you be in a year? Either if you're in a year and you don't do this, you'll still be in the same position that you're in now. But if you do this, if you do the process of options, learning how to do it, joining my group, understanding this stuff now, then you're going to be in a whole different position because now you have different things that you didn't know. And now that can actually help you accelerate and help you grow and outside of where you are now. And most people overlook that. They always think about the outcome instead of where there could be now. Because their situation right now, it's like, all right, this is exactly where I'm going to be in a year. That is scary.
Yeah.
I am scared. If I'm in the same position that I'm in right now next year, I am scared. Because that means that I wasted a year. Wow. That means I wasted time and I didn't grow and that I didn't do what I'm supposed to do. So I just look at it like that.
That's good. That's good. And going back to the same point, y'all, you gotta put in the work. This is that time. This is that season. I be telling brands all the time, like my clients say, well, I don't want to post this because it's like letting people too much into my personal life and some of my failures, and I want them to just see all successes. Those ain't the type of people that's going to spend any money with you. They want to be able to see the ups and the downs. They want to be able to see that
Yeah.
you've made progress so that when they in that same position, they know that they can make progress as long as they stay consistent. But you got to put in the work on social media. Got to put in the work, y'all. Listen, if you're that type of person that's doing the best that they can at your 9 to 5 job, but you know that there's something more, then it's
Mm.
time to explore some other options.
Matter of fact, I
Facts.
can actually give you a blueprint for that too. If you work a job right now, I can give you a blueprint on how to get into options and how to literally retire yourself with options right now, just a whole blueprint for it. So let's just say you're making, I'm just going to say conservatively, like let's say 50, 60,000. Let's just say 60,000, for example. You could literally take, let's say there's a certain amount of money you make every single week. So let's say over 2 weeks, I'm trying to get a right number right so I
Mm-hmm.
can just make this as relatable as possible. So there's 52 weeks in a year. Let's say you work there's 26 weeks. You get paid every 2 weeks. So let's say you get paid, let's say you work 24 weeks. Let's just factor in you took off or something like that. So 24 weeks in a year. So you'd make 24. So let's say you make, hmm, let's say you make 48,000. Let's say you make 72,000 a year. 72,000. That means you make 3,000 every week every week for 24 weeks, for example. So if you did that, let's just make it super simple. I just want to make it super simple for everybody. So every 2 weeks you make $2,000. Every 2 weeks you make $2,000. Cool. If you make $2,000 every 2 weeks, let's say your living expenses is, let's say 1,000, 1,200 or something like that, right? Your living expenses in terms of your house rent payment, the insurance, stuff like that. If you're making $2,000 a week, you have to reduce your expenses anyway. I'm just going to say that now. Have to reduce your expenses. So let's say you can save up. I want you to at least put 25% to 20% of whatever you get in your paycheck. Just set it aside. Just set it aside now. Like, so if you have 2,000, you set aside 20% of that, which is about $400. If you have 2,000, or 25%, which is 500. So set aside 400 to $500. Just put it off to the side. Cool. Now you're going to do that continuously for about, if you have to get that every 2 weeks, let's say you do that for an extra 4 weeks. So four paychecks, which is 8 weeks, right? So you're setting aside, that's about 2 months. You're setting aside money for 2 months. Cool. For 2 months, you need to lock in with somebody, lock in with some information, whatever it needs to be, and you're literally learning options. You're learning how to trade. You're learning from a mentor. You're practicing. You're putting in the work. You're building your strategy. So that's the educational period of 2 months. After that educational period, now you're starting to implement. That's when you start paper trading, practice trading, and start implementing that stuff on a holistic level of just implementing that stuff with fake money first. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you're going to have, in 2 months, you're going to have, let's say $2,000. You set aside $500 for 4 weeks. Cool. You got 500 times four, it's $2,000. Let's say you're going to start trading your live account with $2,000. What you're going to do is you're going to practice on your paper trading account or a fake money account. Same thing as a live account, just with fake money. Practice with $2,000. So you're going to simulate how it's going to be in your live account, but you're going to do it with the 2,000 in your fake account. Build that fake account from 2,000 to maybe 6,000, 8,000, 10,000, and just multiply that money and just grow it, right? You're doing that for either, I don't care if it takes a month, I don't care if it takes 2 months, I don't care how long it takes. Build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up. If you can build it up on your paper account, you can build it up on your live account.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing that's going to kill most people. If you can build it up on your paper account and you actually grow 2,000 into 10,000, right? And you go into your live account and you're struggling to grow the 2,000 to your 10,000 account, I know exactly what's wrong. If
Mm-hmm.
you can grow your paper account, you're not using any emotion because it's not real money. So your heart is not attached to it. So you're growing based on your skill level, but you're holding yourself back because you don't understand the emotional side of it. So when you go into your live account, your emotions are attached to that money. So now you might know the strategy and you have the skill set because you did it with your paper account, but now your emotions are attached to it. Now I got to figure out, okay, what emotions are affecting me from winning? Because I know it's not my strategy. I know it's not my execution. I know it's not the overall skill because I just did it. So it's not, I have it. So
Facts.
now the only thing you got to figure out is the emotional side. And
Mm-hmm.
the emotional side comes down to four things: fear, greed, arrogance, and cockiness. It's
Mm-hmm.
those four. If you're fearful, You might be fearing missing out on money. You might be fear of losing, fear of being wrong. Like fear of being wrong is basically you don't know if it's going to be right or wrong when you place this trade, so you don't place it, or you don't take action, or you don't execute. So fear of being wrong. Then you got greediness. I need to make money. I need to make money. I need to make money. I need to make greediness. That you want more than you can actually chew, right? Then you got cockiness, which is I won all these other times, so now I'm about to win this next trade. I'm good. I'm solid. That's cockiness. Then you got arrogance, which is basically saying arrogance. How should I say this without being rude?
Just give it to him. You know what Myron teaches, bro. He say just give it to him, bro.
All right. This gonna hurt some people. All right. Arrogance would be I already learned from somebody and I already know what I need to do, and I think I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna execute. But if I'm wrong, it's the market's fault. It's my strategy. It's not my fault. It's something else's fault. It's not mine.
Gotcha.
Blaming it on everybody else but themselves, or they think they know everything, and then they start executing and failing, and they don't accept that it's their fault. Most people don't want to do that. Like, matter of fact, at my thing, I literally had a slide up, and I said, this is the biggest reason people fail. And I got everybody super excited. I was like, all right, this is a game. This is about to be a gem. This is the one thing that shows everything of why you're losing right now. Why? And I had a screen. It literally had you. YOU, period. That was it. That's all I had on that screen. And most people was like, they was laughing a little bit. They was like, what do you mean by you? I broke it down. Are you arrogant? Are you cocky? Are you fearful? Are you greedy? Do you want more money? Are you scared of the market? Are you fearful? Are you threatened by the market? Like, that stuff pertains to you. That stuff isn't pertain to what the market is doing, what strategy you're using. None of that stuff matters. Like, I have my mentors, they're making 6 figures, 7 figures a day trading options, and they all have completely different strategies. They're using completely different indicators, completely different stuff on the charts. Everything is different, but they're all making money.
Wow.
Why? Because they all have one thing in common. They don't have fear. They're not greedy. They're not arrogant, and they're not cocky. They go into the market, no emotion. They just trade what they're good at. Just like you said with Kobe, he go into the court. He don't have to figure out like, oh, I won all these other times. I'm gonna win this time. No, I'm just gonna play my game. I know I got it. I know I got it in here. He doesn't have to be greedy and say we need to win. I'm going to win. It's not a we need to win. It's I'm going to win because that's who I am. So he just plays his game. He just plays his strategy. He just executes how he's supposed to trade. And why is he the best? Because he just is. That's just who he is.
That's good. That's good. Now, no, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
In terms of mentorship, you got somebody that's really dope that you've been listening to on Instagram. You're thinking about hiring them. It's probably you. They like, I think I'm going to hire this guy. I've been watching this stuff long enough. But then what happens, because this is a big, big problem with a lot of business owners, a lot of people that's trying to get into investments, they start also listening to 4 or 5 other people. And then now, next thing you know, this person said that they was winning in this particular strategy. So you start trying that for a few weeks and it didn't work. Then you start trying somebody else's for a couple of months. And then you totally forget that thing that you felt on the inside of you that was like pure, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know that this is the angle that you should be going down, but it seemed like everybody went ahead of you. Like, talk to them.
All right, perfect. Okay. That's actually beautiful. That's a beautiful question, actually. So when I started entrepreneurship, I didn't pick one thing. I was like, which one should I do? I'm trying to do da-da-da-da. And I was trying to figure out multiple different things I can do. But I realized something, and I had an epiphany. I can be a millionaire in any of these things. I just got to choose one. Once I found that out, I was like, bet. So now I just made a decision. I just said it was options. Cool. I could be a millionaire in e-commerce. I could be a millionaire in affiliate marketing. I could be a millionaire in real estate. I could be a millionaire in NFTs. It doesn't matter what I'm in. It just matters my execution when I'm in it. So if you find something, like whether it's a strategy, whether it's an industry, choose one. Just pick it, because you can be a millionaire in anything. Like, I taught somebody how to, like, a blueprint on, like, if she knows how to do hair. I was like, okay, cool. She was trying to figure out other things she can do. I was like, be a millionaire in your space. She was like, well, how did I do that? I gave her a play on how to make $800,000 easy in her industry in a year. And she was like, I've never thought of it like that. Because most people don't want to just capitalize and grow and expand on where they are and build upon that. Because think about it. The pyramid, didn't say, all right, I'm gonna build a little bit down and then move on to the next. No, it kept building, kept building, kept building, kept building, and got a bigger base, and then it had a bigger point at the top. Most
Mm,
people don't think about that stuff.
that's good. That's
So if you
good.
have a strategy, if you find it, so for example, you're gonna be bombarded with multiple people's strategies, multiple people. So here's your thing: all you got to do is test it out. If you're really so like pressed on like, oh, I don't know which one to do, and you're that type of person like me, then get the strategy, do 100, do 50 to 100 practice trades or like simulated trades or examples, and test out the win rate. Test out how effective it is. Test out if it works for you, and then see, and then tally everything up. So, all right, this one did this percentage, this one did this one did this, okay, and you can just compare it. Whichever one did the best, all right, pick that one.
Mm,
Like if you really wanted to do that, but in reality, you can win with the strategy. Like I can give you guys matter of fact, I'm gonna give you guys that now. My current indicators right now. I use VWAP, I use the 9 EMA, 21 EMA, I use normal candlestick now, I use volume, and that's pretty much it on my chart. Pretty much, I gave you guys my strategy, like what I use, how, and if you're a trader and you already know how I use it. But those are my indicators. I'll give that to you because I know that the strategy doesn't matter. That's not going to determine if you win or not. Pick a strategy, pick one thing, and literally just figure out the mindset portion behind it, because that's going to dictate whether you execute on that strategy or not. Because you can make money with anything. It's just a matter of how you execute. Your execution is bigger than your strategy.
And I'm gonna tell you though, that execution part is so deep. But again, going back to our earlier point, if you don't
Yeah,
have all these fundamental things in place, you're going to execute, but you're gonna look like a fool. You're gonna be like that
exactly.
car that you got your foot on the gas, but it's not going anywhere. And they're like, man, you putting your foot on the gas hard, bro. Like you're
Mm,
going so hard that if you was driving, you'd be like 80 miles an hour right now. But the problem is you're stuck in park. You actually haven't done anything. And you
mm.
don't even know how to operate this vehicle because somebody just told you to put your foot on the gas. So you was like, I'm going to do the same thing too. Same thing with you. Somebody told you a system to use, a strategy to try, and you did that and you like, why isn't it working? It worked for them. What the heck is going on?
Oh, you already. Matter of fact, okay. This will be the easiest thing. So 3 words: be, do, have. Be, do, and have. If you want to have a lot of money, if you want to have $1,000 days, if you want to have $2,000 days, if you want to have 10,000, $100,000 days, that's what you want to have, right? Then that means you have to do certain things in order to do it. You have to get somebody's strategy. You have to get my mentorship. You got to get into my Discord group. We teach you the plays and stuff like that. So that's what you're doing. You're executing on plays we're giving you. We're executing on teachings. We're executing on the strategy that we use. That's the do part. Then we overlook that. So if we mess up or we fail or we don't get the result that we want, we stop there and say it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
But again, have and do, I didn't get to the part where I'm talking about me, because again, everything that I do, everything is my fault. Everything. So whether I fail or win, it's my fault. So if Kobe wins, it's his fault.
Yeah.
If he loses, it's his fault. It's not anybody else's fault. It's yours. But most people ignore that stuff when we don't look at ourselves. And that's the most important thing, which is be. Who have you become in order to act? Who have you become in order to do the thing that you need to do in order to have what you need to have? Most people overlook that. So who are you becoming? So what type of person? For example, you might want to have $1,000 days, and you might do what you're supposed to do. You might execute the strategy. You might set up your strategy the right way. You might learn. You might buy a course. All that stuff, right? That's what you're doing. That's the action. But you're still not disciplined. You're still not. You're still a little fearful. So you're not a person that's not fearful. You're not a person that's not greedy. You're not a person that's not arrogant. You're not a person that's not cocky. You're not a person that actually sticks to their strategy 100% of the time. That's who you are.
Yeah.
That's what you got to change. So
Yeah.
I can give you, again, I just gave you guys my strategy, not because that's the ticket to your success. That's part of it. Like like I can still give you, all right, cool. I can give you a key to a house, but if I don't tell you the address or the state or the country or where it is, you
That's
don't know
real.
where is this gonna go. You don't know. So I
Right.
gave you the key, but you still got to figure out everything in between that, and that's the bigger picture. So literally, the state, city, country, continent, planet, that's the bigger picture that you still have to figure out, and that's the hardest part. But even so, that can be broken down too. So like I said, it's simple. The 4 things: fear, greed, arrogance, cockiness, or discipline. are you actually waking up and charting, doing your pre-market routine, like understanding, like, you know, what's going on in the market? Are you actually studying this stuff religiously? How much hours are you putting into the market? Because you have to become a person that can study 4 hours a day, 3 hours a day, or
Mm.
even an hour a day consistently to learn the market. You have to become a person that actually is disciplined when they're actually trading. You have to become a person that's not using emotions when they're trading. Most people overlook that. They always focus on what they need to do and not who they need to be. Because when you become Kobe in a sense, then you'll do what you need to do in order to get better at basketball, and you will have a championship.
Yeah.
That's a given.
Yeah.
If you become that person, but if you
Yeah.
haven't, you're gonna stay exactly where you are.
Yeah. That's all facts. And y'all, and it really goes even deeper to like who you are as a person. Ashon, you had
Yeah,
mentioned that early on. It's like if you're undisciplined in other areas of your life, you're probably gonna come into this space and still be undisciplined. And
yep,
yeah, at first for like maybe a month, maybe some of y'all for 3 months, you're gonna be getting it in. You're gonna be putting in the work. You're like, I'm gonna do this. I can do this. But you're the same person that don't make up your bed. You're the same person that got a junky car. You're the same person that don't read no books yet. Every
hmm,
successful person keep telling you they read books, and you like, nah, I don't have to read books. I can just literally watch exactly what you did, and I can skip that step. Speaking
arrogant.
of which, like, give them some books to read that they should be
Up that
tapping into.
perfect. Okay, the new trading for a living. The subtle art of not giving an F. Who not how, trading in the zone. What's another book? The Turtle Trader. The Trader Tao. What's another one? That's another one. Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Those are just the basics.
Yeah, nice.
Atomic Habits. Um, what's another book? Oh, I think Profit First. Yeah, Profit First. Another
That
book.
was that was I think I read a little bit of that. Where
Yeah,
the dude talk about like kind of paying yourself first.
yep.
Okay, okay, yep,
That was yeah. And there's another book that I need to get. Oh, Emotional Intelligence.
okay.
It's another book. I've recommended this actually to somebody. Dang, I'm trying to remember all the books I read. I'm trying to remember everything. There was another book. It was an audio book that I listened to. Um, Dang, I'm trying to remember some more off the top of my head.
But you gave him a lot
Uh,
anyway, though. You gave him about
I
10, I
think I
think.
gave him like what was that, 10, 15?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember some more. But yeah, I'm literally reading those now. I mainly read. Oh, I could give them the the secret of it's not wait traffic secrets,
Yeah,
expert
Russell Brunson.
secrets,
Yeah,
.com secrets. Though that series that's a solid series in general.
yeah.
And I'm trying to think of another one. Ah, I think that's a pretty good amount though. That's a solid amount
Facts.
of books. But yeah.
So we had a question that said, "How do you find time to read when you were trading?"
Oh, that's easy. I just block out. So if you have 24 hours in a day, I sleep for about 6 hours. It only takes me about maybe like an hour of eating, maybe 2 hours. And then trading is usually for me 2 hours. And for the rest of the day, it's pretty much studying. So I was literally, all right, can I find an hour of my day to read or find 2 hours of my day to read? So it's not a matter of finding the time to read, it's creating the time to read.
Mm.
Because most people, there might be like, for example, go on your Instagram, go on your insights, and see how long you spend on Instagram. If you took that amount that you spend on Instagram and you just subtracted that completely and you put all of that into reading, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to read at least maybe 3, 4 books. I say, yeah, about 3 to 4 books a month. If
Mm.
you actually took what you did on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and put all of that and you put that all into reading, you could at least read 3 to 4 books a month.
Facts.
And I'm actually doing that now. Like I wasn't like, again, I wasn't a reader. I didn't like to read at some point. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I said, all right, I got to start reading some more. So now I'm starting to read 2 books a week, usually one book, either 1 book a week or 2 books a week. Now I'm starting to, and those books that I mentioned are books that I'm actually actively reading. And now I'm updating that list continuously of like what I need to read some more. But typically I've read Trading in the Zone. I've read it twice now. About to read it 3 times. And Who Not How I read twice. Think and Grow Rich I've read twice, and Atomic Habits I'm just reading that now. That's my book for the week. It's I read that once, but yeah, it's just a matter of creating the time for real. So you have the time. It's just, are you using
Mm.
it?
That's good. And that question was about like, hey, is it mindset books or trading books is more important? Like, I'm gonna let you
Mm,
answer this too, but like, I feel
yeah,
like mindset books should really be the start because if you don't get your mind right, then you're not gonna be receptive to all this other information that you got to
yeah,
give. So it's similar to like if I tell my son, hey, you should be eating your food slower, he's like, man, I'm hungry. I'm trying to smash, right? But then if I start introducing him to like, there's a reason why you keep eating fast. Like
mm,
it's subconsciously. Like you are literally eating this food because we kind of get back into the survival mentality that the food is not going to be here, so I got to eat more than my brothers and sisters because I'm trying to get seconds. So if I hurry up and eat, then I can get seconds. I can put more inside my belly. But it's like not realizing as you eat a little bit slower, your food starts to digest properly, and then
mm,
you get the health that you really want to versus you trying to manipulate it and force it. So it's the same thing, and I've never done trading successfully, but I'm gonna just say that if you can get your mind right, then you're gonna be really, really receptive to everything that your mentor is trying to teach you, your coaches, the team, these books. So you're gonna be like, oh, because here's what happened right now to you. You that person, because I was the same way. I start reading a book and I'm on one page for like an hour because I'm trying to like
oh my,
get all of it. Like it seems so boring and dumb. I know it's needed. I know it's important, but I'm like, man, this stuff, I'm not even on the same vibe as this information is trying to teach me. But once you get your mind right, then you're going to start thinking a little bit differently. And what I always suggest to people to do is create this avatar that's in your mind of who you want to become and then work
mm,
backwards. So, like this Manny Hall, this dude drive a black on black Range Rover. He got a Porsche truck in the driveway as well. Like he stay in a stupid big
yes,
house, probably like
sir.
10 bedrooms, 15 bathrooms. Like it's just dumb stupid. But one of the things that he does consistently, y'all, is he works out all the time. He reads books all the time. He's listening to books. He's creating circles around him that's going to help him get to the next level because your network is your net worth. So
Mm,
when you think about the individuals that you are going to be around, that's going to be vital. So me, I had to work backwards. I started doing the stuff that I know that the other Manny would do. And some of that you might need to do yourself, like just start to work backwards, reverse engineer this entire process. But first is like really having that image of, and Ashon, you said it too earlier, that like think about who you want to become. What amount of money
mm,
do you want to make? What kind of lifestyle do you want? And then once I figure that out, what's required to be there? What's required to stay there? Because there's a lot of people that make a million and they lose it. Why? Because they never change their mindset. So, bro, go ahead and answer that question. Let's go back to it. Are
bet.
mindset books or trading books more important?
Mindset books, like you literally hit it on the head with that, like almost perfectly, because like literally most people overlook the mindset portion, and that's literally the thing that's literally guiding their entire life. The unconscious mind, like you just said, it controls 95% of your life. We only live 5% consciously. So our life is being lived, but it's not us living our lives because it's based on that programming inside of our high head of what we repetitively do. So like I said, going back to like becoming, being is who you are, like what you do naturally. Like you became a person who brushes their teeth every day. You became a person that showers every day. You became a person that wakes up and I don't know what y'all do. Let's say y'all wake up and y'all stand up like that. You became that person because it was through repetition. So through repetition, you can actually become somebody that's a disciplined trader, become somebody that's a, so literally you, both of those like literally are good. Like if I had to say one book that you could read over and over again and it tackles trading and the mindset portion, is Trading in the Zone. Like if you read that over and over again, there's no reason you can't be a good trader. I mean, if, because again, repetition is key. Like repeating it over and over again, over and over again, you're understanding the mindset portion, but you're also understanding why traders fail, because that book actually told me a lot about why it literally, it's almost like that it was calling me out on stuff, but he didn't even know who I was, but he was calling me out on individual stuff that I'm dealing with. I'm like, how did he know that? Like it was like he threw, but it's like it was speaking to me. Like every single thing he was talking about was speaking to me. And then I realized I must be feeling the same way that everybody else feels as a trader. So now he identified that, and he's the one person that actually identified it. His name is Mark Douglas, and he wrote the book Trading in the Zone. I had read that 2 times. I'm about to read it 3 and 4 and then 10 because he literally tackles everything. So I recommend mindset books, but if you want a mindset and trading book, then Trading in the Zone. That'll literally be all you need.
Man, that's good. That's good. Look, I don't want to steal too much of your time, and we can't give them too
Of course.
much game because
Facts.
again, they're not going to use most of it anyway, right? So if y'all want to tap in and learn more about trading options, make sure that you're following the homie right now. Like click that little down arrow right at the top, go to his page, start following him. This might be something that you feel like you're not ready for right at this present moment. No big deal. At least start to learn some of this game right now so it can prepare you for later, because you really want to just plant seeds. We were talking about the subconscious mind. Since you're operating 95% of the time off of your subconscious mind, why not plant some dope stuff and content inside that boy so that as you're going about your day, you can go to the next level and you have so much great information. He has an amazing program. He has an amazing coaching program. You need to tap in and get this stuff so that you can go to the next level. He's 19. I call him a young lion. He out here doing his thing. And it don't matter if you are 29, 39, 59, there's still time for you. Think about Chick-fil-A. I mean, not Chick-fil-A, but the KFC guy.
Mm-hmm.
He literally started KFC in his 70s, y'all. Like, it ain't get successful until he was in his 70s, and he made a whole lot of bread before he left. So, like, it's still your time, but still your moment, but you got to tap in. Any last words, bro?
If I had to give one word of advice, you reap what you've sown. So whatever situation you're in now, whether it's good or bad, that's based on what you've sown in the past. So if you sown good things, you will have good things. If you sown bad things, then you will have bad things. So just use that to live your life every single day. So ask yourself, what am I reaping now? Where the current situation I'm in, what have I sown in the past, and what am I sowing today? Because that dictates what I reap in the future, and that dictates where I'm reaping right now.
Facts, facts, facts. I love it. We're going to have to do this again sometime soon if you're down, bro.
Of course. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Thanks for your time.
Peace out.